Everyone, are you able to hear my voice? Can you please confirm it once? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sure. Uh, this is the first class for this Power Apps. First of all, I will introduce myself. Okay. So yeah. Like my name is Vijay Ramraju, and in the IT industry, I have like almost to 10 years experience in this one. Like and I have a different skills like Power BI, SQL Server, Power Apps, Power Automate, and SSIS, SSRS, all these things also. Okay, right now I'm taking the classes on Power BI and Power Apps related thing. Okay, sometimes if I have a time to if I have a time, so I will take SQL Server classes also. Okay, so in this teaching field, I almost like 5 years experience in this one. And this is the first for online team. This is the first Power Apps batch it is, and previously I conducted like Power BI and SQL Server. Okay, so thanks for joining for each and everyone. Like okay, so yeah, so whatever doubts you have it, so in the last I will unmute it for each and everyone. I will give the chance. You can speak it at that time, at that point of time. Understand? So so this is what about myself. Okay, so let me share my screen. Let me know once you are able to see my screen or not. Are you able to see my screen, guys? Yes. Okay, thank you. So first of all, what is Power Apps? Power Apps is nothing but creating an application without writing a single line of coding is called as application. So that it is called as Power Apps. So why this is came to the picture? Okay, actually what will happen here it is. So actually we are so we have three applications will be there like Power BI, Power Apps, and Power Automate. Okay, Power BI, Power Apps, Power Automate. So these are the three different applications. Okay, in this application, Power BI is the one which is having the reporting tool. Oh, Power BI, it is a reporting tool. Reporting tool, and Power Apps, it is an it is a application development tool. Okay, and Power Automate is like move the files from source to destination. Okay, actually these are the three different applications. These three different applications we can call it as Power Platform. Okay, so why this is came to the picture? So can't we learn it and get the job in Power BI? Can't we learn only Power Apps and get the job in that one? Can't we learn Power Automate only and get the job? So actually in the future is going with this particular Power Platform. Why means, so in Power BI it is nothing but it is a reporting tool. In reporting tool, whatever the data we are getting from the data source, that data we can represent in a pictorial format. That is what we can do it. Okay, but in reporting tool there is a drawback is there. What is the drawback is, if you are doing any modifications on the Power BI, okay, it is not reflected to the data source. It is reflected only up to the Power BI only. Okay, that is the drawback. So because of this drawback, they are introduced a new application that it is called as Power Apps. Okay, that means, so whatever that means, without writing a single line of coding, okay, you just need to connect with the different data sources and create an application. Okay, with that application, in that application, if you are doing any modifications into that one, then automatically it will reflect it to the data source without writing anything in that one. That means without writing coding, automatically whatever application in the application, whatever you do it, all the things are reflected in the data source also. That is the biggest advantage into that. But in the Power Apps also, one small drawback it is. That means only in Power Apps we can create an application. We cannot move any file from source to destination like that. So with that, Power Automated is introduced. With that automate, so when suppose for example you will receive a mail. Okay, with that mail, in that mail there is an attachment is there, something whatever it may be. Okay, that attachment file I need to keep it in some other OneDrive or SharePoint, something I need to put it. Okay, so every time you cannot download that particular file and put it there, right? Suppose for example in the midnight, it will like a 2 a.m. At that time the file will come set. So you cannot, at the time you cannot wake up and do like downloading that particular file and put it in this destination location, right? So by using Power Automate, it automatically it will do it. So with the combination of these three applications, we can without that means without having a manual intervention, everything is automated. That means Power Automate is moving the file from source to destination. Power Apps is connecting to that particular source itself and create an application into that one. Okay, and whatever update or whatever creation, whatever you are doing in the application, Power Apps application, does that automatically it will reflect to the data source itself. That data source, final data of the data source, we need to pull it into Power BI and we are showing the data in different pictorial format. Okay, this is what the complete process, the complete life cycle Power Platform it is. So that's the reason nowadays, if you learn only the Power BI, okay, so along with the Power BI, they're asking like you have any experience on Power Apps and everything. So better to learn Power Apps for this one. Power Apps is very easy, and we are creating an application without writing a single line of coding. Okay, so in this particular this batch itself, we are discussing about only Power Apps. Okay, so what is Power Apps? Power Apps is nothing but it is a development environment. Okay, so that means it is a development environment. It means we can create applications. We can create applications and we can connect and we can connect to different data sources, and we can store the data also. We can store the data in Power Apps. That means Power Apps is nothing but it is a development environment. Okay, in this environment you can create an applications. By that means you can create an application without writing a single line of coding, and you can develop the applications, and you are connecting with the different data sources and create an applications. You can do it, and you can store the data in Power Apps also. Okay, actually, if I want to create any application in any other tools itself, like .NET or Java, okay, so for connecting to the data source, you need to write a coding. Okay, so whatever the customized application you want to see it, for that you need to write a coding. Okay, if you want to save the data automatically in the data source, for that you need to write the coding. There are different ways it will be there in other applications. Okay, but in Power Apps, it is not like that. Okay, without writing a single line of coding, we can create all the applications. Okay, and 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 not only that one, we can store the data in Power Apps also. That means whatever the secure data is there. Okay, whatever the main tables are there, master tables are there, those related information we can save it in Power Apps. Understand? Okay, so that means if there is a master table is there, those related, no one want to modify it. With the secure manner, we can save that particular data in Power Apps itself. Okay, that we can call it as data version. Whatever the data, whatever the data we can whatever the data we can store it in Power Apps. Okay, that we can call it as dataverse. Okay, in this dataverse related, we can store all the tables related information, everything we can do it. Understand? And see here, that means while at the time of creating an application, okay, in Power Apps, it is not taking that much of time. Okay, with a simple way and easiest manner, we can create applications in a fast way. We can do it. Like suppose, for example, just need to connect the data source and create an application. I will show you, don't worry. One sample file, one sample application, I will create it without writing anything. I will show you. Understand? So suppose, for example, how this Power Apps will be there means, see here. Suppose, for example, okay. So for example, okay. So this is a development environment. Don't worry, in the document, all the information will be there with the screenshot. We will forward once everything is done, once the demo part is completed. Understand? So here, suppose for example, there are in three layers it is divided. If I want to create any application means in three ways, in three layers it is divided. Like suppose for example, okay, so here itself you can build an applications. Okay, Power Apps is a development environment. Okay, and so how we can develop the environment? By connecting to the data source. Here itself we can connect to the data sources, like that we can call it as data platform. What is that? Data platform. Data platform is nothing but connecting to the different data sources like SQL Server, Excel, OneDrive, SharePoint list. All these are, we can call it as data platform. Understand? So if I want to create any application means, first you need to connect with the data platform. That means connecting with the different data sources. And in the development in Power Apps, we can create an application. Okay, that means here itself you can create an applications. Okay, create applications. Okay, so that means in this development environment, we can connect with the different data sources, and by connecting with the different data sources, we can create an applications here. Okay, so this is what we can do it. Suppose for example, there are different applications will be there. Suppose you have MS Office, right? Suppose you are connecting with spreadsheets. What in spreadsheets, what you need to do? That means if you are connecting with Microsoft Excel, you are creating spreadsheets, and the spreadsheets, that means you are creating some tables and everything, and you're summarizing the data in the Excel itself. All the things we can do it, right? If it is a Microsoft PowerPoint means what it will do? Presentation. Okay, so if you want to give some demos or anything, any presentations to that clients and everything, so for that we have to use PowerPoint. Okay, now for Power Apps we need to create an applications. What? Okay, so that means applications means, suppose for example you have Amazon, Flipkart, these are all our applications. Okay, that means if you want to know about that particular product information, by clicking on that you will know it, right? So like that, those are all our applications, those are all are called as applications. And here also in Power Apps also we can create an applications. Okay, so with the customized data also we can create an application, or else by selecting a single data source data and we can create an application within a 2 minutes. We can create an application. Understand? So these are the things. And next one is Power Apps futures also. Like suppose for example, okay, Power Apps futures. Yes. In this, first point is easily we can use that Power Apps application. Easy to use Power Apps application. That means without writing a single line of coding, we can create an application in this in Power Apps application. We can, without writing a single line of coding, we can create an applications. Okay, that is the first one. Next one is, so in other application, must and should, you need to download that particular software, install the software, and after that what you need to do after installing that, you are developing an application. But in Power Apps, no need to do all these things, because Power Apps is a cloud based environment. Okay, that means you can create all the applications in the Power Apps site itself. That means in the browser itself you can create an application. That means run, that means if you have internet, either by using mobile or by using desktop or a laptop or a Mac or iPad, by using any of the devices, by using any of the devices, we can create an application at any time and in anywhere. Okay, so because if you have a just internet is available, then you can create an application any of the devices. Understand? So that means where devices like like mobile or laptop or desktop, Mac and iPad. Okay, another one is connecting with any data source. You can connect it. Okay, suppose for example I want to connect with SQL server, I want to connect with OneDrive. Okay, just you need to, there is a connect data source connections are there, just you need to connect to that particular data source and give the credentials. After giving a credentials, once the data is pulled, automatically app will be created. Understand? So we can easily connecting with the connect different data sources. Okay, so this is what, these are the features are available in Power Apps. Okay, and one more important point is Power Apps is not a software. Okay, Power Apps is a Power Apps is not a software. Power Apps is not a software. It is a cloud based environment. That means you have to log into that particular site, Power App site itself, and there you can do all the applications you creating or storing the data, anything in that particular one you can do it. Okay, then no need to maintain any separate software power apps. Okay, so just you need to log into that particular site and give the, so with the proper credentials you need to connect with that particular one, and after connecting to that one you are go to that particular site, and there itself you can create an application and storing the data there also. Okay, these are the things we can do it. And in Power Apps we have a different types of licenses. Okay, that means first of all we need to discuss about the licenses. Okay, so there are different types of licenses will be there in Power Apps, like so per user. Okay, there are, see, per user license, and per app license will be there. Understand? Per user license, per app licenses. That means per user means, that means for that user, okay, we can create n number of applications into, for that particular user he can create n number of applications in the cloud based environment. If it is per app means, for one user he can create only one app. Okay, if any changes are required he can create in that particular one. If you modified anything, that means for per app licenses he can create only for one user, one app only he can create. Another one is, there is a free user is also there. Okay, what is that? Free user. So we can handle with the free user also, but this free user is available up to 60 days only, not more than that. Okay, so after 60 days again you need to take the licenses, but don't worry, I will tell you how to sign up with, always with the free. Okay, with that you can create an applications and everything, no need to take the licenses. But whenever you are working with organization, you need to use like these type of licenses, per user, per app. Okay, so first of all, if I want to, that means I told you, right, Power Apps is not a software. Okay, if it is a software you have to download into your local system and you have to install it, and with in that particular one you have to develop all the things. But Power Apps is not a software. Okay, it is a so you have to go to that particular site, and there itself you can log in with the credentials and go to that particular environment and create the applications. So if you want to log into the Power Apps, okay, what it will be there means, see, so you have to type like Microsoft dot Power Apps dot Power Apps dot, sorry, Power Apps dot Microsoft.com. This is the site will be there. After login to this site, okay, so there are, I told you, like there are different types of licenses, per user, per app. Okay, so there is an option called pricing option is there. Okay, when you click on this pricing option, okay, so when you come down, click on this pricing, see here, per app plan and per user plan it is. Okay, so per app means only one app per user we can create per month. This is $55. It is $5 per month. If you take $5 per month, and that means for that month, particular month, you can create one application only. Okay, suppose for example I want to create multiple application for a single user, then you have to take this particular plan. Okay, per user plan. In this per user plan, monthly you have to, they are charging like $20 per month. Okay, so you can include all the things there itself, but no need to take all these licenses. Okay, Okay, so you have to use free versions also. Okay, so that means so for free version, organization mail IDs only it will allows. Understand or not? Okay, if you want to log in with Power Apps means the personal mail IDs are not allowed here. Always you have to use organizational credentials only. That means organization mail ID is only used. Which I am not working in the organization. How can I get organizational related mail ID? So don't worry, there are different sites are there. Those are temporary organization mail IDs they will generate it. By using those temporary mail IDs, we can log in it and we can work on to that particular Power Apps. Understand or not? So first of all, we need to know how to sign up the things. Okay, for sign up, first what you need to do is, so there are different, first you need to take the organizational mail ID. For that organization mail ID, what you have to do is, there are different sites are there. Those sites are generating organization mail IDs. In that, so just you need to type like temp ail. What is that? Temp ail is the site. Okay, or temp mail. This is the site. In this site itself, it is generating, see, temporary organizational mail IDs. By using these only, we can log into that particular one. We cannot use any personal mail IDs. If you want to log into the Power Apps means, we cannot use personal mail IDs. Always you have to use organizational mail IDs. So for getting an organization mail ID, there are different templates are available. Okay, these templates are generating an organizational mail ID. Okay, go to that particular site itself. You just need to type temp mail in the Google. There are different sites in that. You can take one of that particular. Okay, suppose I'm choosing temp mail. This is the one. Okay, temp mail. See here. This is the site. So in this, see, they are, this is the organization mail. Okay, so at the time of using this organization mail ID, so just you need to click on this particular mail ID, then automatically mail ID will be copied. After copying the mail ID, don't close this particular one, because in for this mail, in this mail itself, some 6-digit code will be generated. That 6-digit code will comes here. This is an inbox. This inbox must and should be there. Suppose, for example, if you close this one, again, if you open this temp mail, what will happen? New mail ID will be generated, not the existing one. This won't be there. Whenever you close it, okay, after open it, new organization mail ID will be generated. That's the reason, until you sign up process is completed, please don't close this tab. Okay, so just you need to click on this particular one. After clicking on this one, you can get the mail ID. After getting a mail ID, what you have to do, go to your Power Apps site itself. That means powerapps.microsoft.com is there, right? There itself, you have to click on try free for 30 days is there, right? Click on this. Okay, so don't click on this one. When you need to click on sign in, once the sign up process is completed, whatever the mail ID and credentials is there, with that you have to sign up with it. But right now I didn't sign up anything, right? So just you need to click on try free for 30 days will be there. Don't worry, after 30 days you can extend 30 more days also. Okay, so whatever mail ID you are copied from the temp mail, that you need to just give it here and click on buy sign up use agreement in this one. Start your free trials. Click on this one. See, so here it is asking like whether you're an organization mail ID you are using or not. It is, so you always you need to select it. I got it from an organization because this is an organization. This is an organization. Gufum is an organization. It will generate the mail IDs there itself. So that's the reason I'm selecting. I got it from my organization. Select that one and click on next. And when you come up, okay, if you go up, you will see it is asking your details like first name, last name, and what are the region, what is the phone number, everything. Okay, so just you need to give like Vijay. Okay, so I'm giving, so country, anything you can select it. Suppose I'm selecting India. Okay. And here the phone number you need to give it like the here password you need to set it. Whatever password you want, you can give it. Okay. One. So password, you have to remember it. Okay. After that, see here, the verification code is there, right? So go to that particular site itself. I told you, right? The inbox here itself, it is there. To this particular inbox, it is getting 6-digit code. This 6-digit code, you need to enter here itself. That means 944338. That you have to type it here. 944338. And click on next. See here, once you give proper password, all the details and everything, click on get started. Okay, and once that means almost sign process is done. Like so whatever mail ID you were copying, that mail ID, so please don't close this one. Please save this mail ID, because if you didn't save this mail ID, once this window is closed, what will happen? You cannot get this mail ID. So once you sign up, things are done. So immediately you have to save your this particular mail ID. Okay, anywhere, like suppose for example, I want to save it in the Power Apps, like okay, this is the one. Okay, in the stick notes, better to save it because it all. So whenever, if you didn't save it, also automatically stick notes, whatever information you put it, that it will be saved permanently. Understand? So just you need to open that one. And here it is asking, what is it asking? Credentials, right? Again, mail ID, click on next. And what password you need to set at the time of sign up the things. So that password as it is, you need to give it here. Understand? Click on sign in. Once you click on sign in, so click on next. Must ensure what you have to do is you have to for the first time, you have to authenticate your sign in Microsoft sign in application with the authenticator. Microsoft authenticator is there. That is a one application. Okay, with that authenticator, you have to sync it this way. Okay, you have to do that. So for that, what you have to do is in your mobile, in Play Store, you will have an option called Microsoft Authenticator. Okay, what is that? Microsoft Authenticator is there. In that Microsoft Authenticator, you have to sync this mail ID to that authenticator. Then automatically whenever sometimes in a secure manner, if you want to, suppose for example, if you want to log into, someone knows my password, you can easily log into that particular site itself and do the thing, right? So for security reason, you have to go with the Microsoft Authenticator. What will happen whenever you are going to sign in, at that time, if someone is accessed, unauthorized person is accessed that application, at that time, it will send the 6-digit code to the Microsoft Authenticator. That 6-digit code you have to type it, then only you can log in it. Otherwise, it is not possible. That 6-digit code in the Microsoft Authenticator always every 15-20 seconds it is changed. Understand? So click on next. See here, this is a Microsoft Authenticator. Now you need to take the mobile. In that Play Store, there is an option called Microsoft Authenticator. You have to type it and install that particular application in your mobile. You have to do that particular one. Understand? Don't forget this one. And click on next. Once you click on next, sign. This QR code you have to sign in the mobile itself. Okay. So I'm login Microsoft Authenticator in my mobile. Okay, let's see. Once the Microsoft Authenticator is downloaded and installed in your mobile, okay, after that you have to scan this one. Please don't this window, okay? Until you scan it from your mobile, you don't want to close this particular one. Understand? So at the time of opening that particular application in your mobile, there is an option called add work or school account, and below that scan a QR code option will be there. You can click on scan a QR code, and you have to scan this particular one, whichever it is there here, that you have to scan it. Okay. So once it is done, that means it is once this scan, whatever scan it is there, if the scanning part is done in your mobile, now you need to click on next here itself. And so whatever number is there here, this number, you need to type it in your mobile Microsoft Authenticator. Like, see, in the Microsoft Authenticator app itself, you have to type this code and say yes. See, notification is approved, and click on next. Click on done. Click on yes. Now you are able to log into the Power Apps. Understand? So for the first time only, it is asking all these details, like at the time of sign up the things only, it is asking Microsoft Authenticator details and everything. Okay. Next time onwards, you can directly click on this particular one. Like, so there is an option called sign in, right? There is an option sign in here itself. When you click on this sign in, see here, suppose for example, I have the mail ID and password. Then what I need to do? So I need to give that particular one. So I need to sign out this one first. Okay, click on sign in. Sometimes it is saved. So Okay, it is asking the mail ID. What mail ID you save it, you need to give with that mail ID. Okay, after giving a mail ID, you need to give the password, proper password. And what password you are giving at the time of sign up, same password you need to give it here. Click on sign in, click on yes. Okay, now you are able to log into this Power Apps. This is a cloud-based environment. Okay, you can that means you can log into this particular site itself. Here itself you can create all the applications. Understand? So every time, whatever that means, so that's the reason, whichever it is in the browser, anywhere in any devices at any time, you can access it or not. Okay, this is not the software. So it is a cloud-based environment. Just you need to log into that particular site itself. After login to that one particular site itself, and you can create all the changes and everything, you can do it here. So that means either you can do it from mobile or laptop or a desktop or iPad or Mac, any devices it will work. Because in all the devices, the browser will be there, right? In the browser itself, you can connect to that particular one, you can log into the particular site itself, and you can do all the changes here. Understand? So after login to that particular application, what you have to do is, first you need to create an application. First you need to create an environment. Must and should you need to create an environment, because this is the default environment. What is that? This is a default environment. Okay, that means in this default environment, suppose this default environment is gufum.com. That means complete organization environment. This is, that means if you suppose, if you create any application in this environment, what will happen? Others also need to access this your application. Understand? Suppose, for example, so what you need to do is, in our personal things, like if you want to create anything, if you want to use any application with one environment, you are working like development environment. But when you are working with organization, they are maintaining a different environment. The environment is nothing but a server. Okay, different servers they are maintaining. Why they are maintaining a different server? Because so in that particular, once if you have one server, what will happen? At the time of development also you are using the same server. At the running an application in the production also you are using the same server itself. Then what will happen? That means, so who are accessing the applications, who are in development, all the things in one environment, that means in one server. Okay, that means it will increase the burden for that one, and the performance wise the application also it will decrease amount. Okay, performance wise we it will increase the decrease the performance of that particular application. Okay, so that's the reason they are maintaining a different servers in the organization level. Suppose who are development stage, that is development environment. Who, whatever applications are going live, those applications always it will be there in a production environment. Okay, whenever it will happens like that, so that means two different servers, right? It won't happens to the any of the application. That means the application also it's getting very fast, right? So that's the reason in the organization level they are meant for any application they are maintaining a different servers, that we can call it as environment. What is that? Environment. So in this environment, so must and should you need to create your own environment. Whenever you are creating your environment, so who are able to access to that environment? Those people only, that means who are able to access that particular environment, those are only able to see the applications, not everyone. But if you are using this default, this is the default environment. Whenever you log into run, by default, Microsoft will give the default environment. In this default environment, complete organization people will be there. Anyone can access it. Understand clearly or not? So that's the reason we, after login to the Power Apps, first you need to create your own environment. In that environment, you need to start creating an application and storing the data. Everything you can do it here itself. Understand clearly or not? Tomorrow, I will explain you how to create an environment and how in that environment, how to create an application. Actually, 3 days demo session will be there. After that, regular class will be started. Understand? So we can stop it here. We'll continue tomorrow. Okay. So anyone having any doubts or anything is there? We know. Phone numbers is not required. See, same. What will happen? Suppose, for example, your trial version is done. Okay. Your trial version is done. After that, what you have to do? Again, suppose, again, you need to create with a new sign of things. Okay. So after 60 days is over, then what you have to do? Go to the temp mail and create that temp mail and sign up the things. And with that free sign up, you have to access it and you can do all the things here. Understand? Initially, you have to do it from there because otherwise you need to take the license. This is the one you can do it. It's very much useful in the company side itself. Okay. Because nowadays everyone, that means if I want to create an application, need to learn a coding part and everything. No one is interested on the coding part. Then whenever the Power Apps is came to the picture, everyone is trying to use it because in the Power Apps application, there is no coding part will be there. That's the reason. Understand clearly? So DB means depends upon what. Suppose, for example, your data will be saved in SQL Server. Okay, with that SQL Server, you can connect it and load the data. Understand, Jackie? Sayed. Yeah, 1 second. See, prerequisite means I will tell you. See, not required anything here, Dinesh. Okay. So this is not a software. If you have a software, there is a prerequisite will be there. What are the requirements for installing this software and everything you have it. But whenever you will use the cloud base, not required any prerequisite for this particular. So, understand? Yeah. Tell me, Vedant, Hanuma. Can you please unmute it?
Hi, Vijay. Good evening. Vijay, my question is, why do I need to learn this Power Apps? So what applications does we create on these Power Apps? So
suppose, for example, Hanuman, like see, we have like a candidate process related things, right? Suppose you are applying any company, they are having some steps to do all these things, right? Document verification, interview processing, offer letter releasing, all the things will be there, right? That we can do it by using this application. By using Power Apps, we can do all these things because the student knows each and everything where he is there. Okay, that means whether the document is verified or not. If it is not verified, you need to check with HR like that, right? So those related are simple application, whatever business requirement, normal. See what business requirement it is. Suppose, for example, how much data it is getting, whether it is so suppose in the data source itself, some modification is there. If they are creating an application, in that they are maintaining one column. In that column itself, if any modification you did it, automatically it will be reflected in the data source or not. That means, so what business people is, without without touching the data source, they can update all the things in this application, and automatically it will reflect it to that particular data source itself, because the business people doesn't have the data source access, right? Those cases. Understand? Hanuman.
Not exactly, Vijay. So
Like,
why should I learn this? My question is, why should I learn these Power Apps? Or why should
so
I not Power BI?
not
So
policy.
if I want to learn this, prior
Hmm.
I need to have knowledge on Power BI or Power Automate. Do I need to learn Power Automate as well?
No need to learn. See, it is all are completely different. Okay, Power Apps is different, Power BI is different, Power Automate is different. So in Power BI, what problem it is? Like suppose you are connecting with the data, and that is a reporting tool. With the data, we can represent the data in a pictorial format. Suppose you want to insert a record, that it is not reflected to the data source. But whenever you are using Power Apps, what will happen? From the application itself, we can modify the data in the data source itself. That for that purpose, we have to use this Power Apps applications. Understand? But in Power BI, we cannot do like that, right? There is a drawback is there. That is it. So we cannot update or create the records in the data source itself from Power BI side. But in Power Apps side, if you are whatever applications you are created in that application, whatever CRUD operations you have to do it, all the things in the it is affected in the application as well as in the data source also it is affected. Understand? Venkatesh. Venkatesh, you are there.
So do we work with the raw data?
So
No, right?
that means raw data means
Raw data in the sense the Excel sheet.
yeah. But Excel sheet, those you have to put it in OneDrive or SharePoint or a SharePoint list. Those related data only we can.
Okay, so the source could be a SQL database table as well, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, guys, I have meeting is there, office meeting is there, so we can drop off it, and tomorrow we can discuss all the things. Okay. Thanks, guys. We can stop it here. We'll continue tomorrow. Bye.